Hello everybody, it's Po0two here, and welcome to day 3 of our Stardew Valley video series. We got the goals in mind of getting a really good start of the year by having an amazing spring, and hopefully completing the community center in 1 year. Yesterday we spent a lot of time fishing. We were able to get up to level 2, which will definitely help us today, because today is all about fishing again. The rain's here to help us, so we won't have to worry about watering crops and can spend all of our energy trying to get the elusive catfish. Also, to another small point, that dandelion will finish up our foraging for spring bundle, because that was the only one we were missing, but that is for another day because the community center's not open. We are going to get right to fishing, and a lot of it. So, this is kind of fun. Catfish, as you can tell, because this is one right here, are tough. And when you only have level 2 fishing, and that bar is super tiny, and we are using basically a stick and a string for a pole, it's gonna be interesting trying to get one. But it'll be fun. It's a lot about luck, because the catfish are definitely temperamental. Sometimes you'll get one that doesn't move around too much, and that's the one we're looking for. But we'll see. I'm confident in us. But later tonight, hopefully we would have already caught a catfish, and we can move down to the ocean, because at rainy nights we can catch an eel, which are quite a bit easier than catfish are. So if we catch a catfish, we know we're good when it comes to the eel. Oh gosh. Well, yeah, this one will be interesting. Oh, that was a bad mistake. Yep. This is gonna be fun. But I'm also hoping we get a few treasure chests today. One of the best things out of these treasure chests, if anybody's ever found one, is a literal treasure chest. It's just a box with a bunch of gold in it, and it sells for 5,000 GP. Which, for this early in the game, would definitely be a huge help. And this is definitely a catfish, but it's not near as temperamental as some of those other ones were, at least not yet. Oh, there we go. It's nice when they're calm. But that's pretty much the same thing when it comes to like the legend. The legendary fish called the legend. Is you just gotta hope that the one that you pull up is a little bit less crazy than some of the other ones, because that guy is also very difficult. But I did forget to mention, yeah, the shad is a catchable fish when it's raining in the daytime. I completely forgot about that. I don't remember if it's required in any bundle. I actually do think it is. So, it's a good thing we got that one. Although I could leave and go up to the mountain. Like I said in yesterday's broadcast, the mountain is probably my favorite place to fish. Catfish are so good for raising experience, and also so much to sell for, that I can't not try for a few more of them. Although this particular one already seems to be... Oh, it doesn't seem to be too bad, actually. Oh. I probably spoke a little too soon there. And I do tend to have these battles with these catfish, but it's some of the more fun I have while fishing, because later on, once you got the iridium rod with the trapper bobber, there's not too many fish that pose a difficulty anymore. Tell you what, I would definitely like to catch a silver or gold catfish, though, since both of these have just been standard. But I definitely should have checked to see if there was any postings up on Pierre's wall. Quests are always good to do, if nothing else, at least for the money. But we do want to still give villagers gifts on their birthdays and things like that, because although the community center might be completed by the end of year 1, the game is not completed, so we don't want to just abandon the community. Anything we can do to help out is always good. Which I think Lewis, who's walking right above us, is our first opportunity to give birthday gifts this coming Sunday. Oh, wow. Oh, that ain't gonna happen. Always entertaining, these catfish. We've already caught 3, and it's not even noon, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. The only downfall of not catching them is wasting the 8 fatigue that it takes to cast. And I just ruined what would have been a very easy perfect catch there. I tend to do that. Right when I start catching a fish, I'll normally bring up my bar, which, if the fish doesn't go up at all, I have the possibility of losing it. And the reason I always go up when I start to catch a fish is because of what you just saw there. First thing that catfish did was jump. I'm probably going to ignore this treasure chest. If I can just luck out and get it like right now, I will. And that worked out swimmingly, I might add. Some more bait. I think the chance to get bait out of treasure chests is a little too high for my taste. Like, I understand that treasure is not crazy hard to obtain and things like that, but, you know, I always kind of perk up when I get a treasure chest, and then to see 10 bait, it's quite the letdown. But what are you going to do about it? But we are doing fantastic today as far as the fish we've caught and the experience that we've gained. Honestly, the majority of tomorrow is probably going to be fishing up on the mountain. And after that, we're only going to be fishing on really unlucky days that we don't have a lot of farming to do. Because any lucky days, or even semi-lucky days, will probably be spent in the mine. Getting to level 80 is going to be no easy feat. 90 would be the best case scenario, so we can get the obsidian edge sword. But we'll need all the time we can get for that. Plus, after tomorrow, I believe I will have caught every fish you can catch in spring. Besides the legend, of course. But we'll see. If later on in the season we have a little bit more time and everything else is kind of where we need it, we can always use fishing as a method to gain money. Like I said earlier, that's it's pretty much the best method early on. But I can imagine it is a bore fest for you guys watching, because it is just cast, catch, cast, catch. Not a lot else going on. And I have to imagine sitting here listening to me mumble about random things is not the best way to spend your time. So, obviously in the description I will have another time that you guys can bump to for when I'm finally done here. Let's be honest, you could probably skip this whole day. The real fun stuff probably won't happen until day 5 when the mine opens up and I go in there and get my butt kicked by all sorts of different things. I'm kind of a minimalist, you could say, when it comes to making things difficult in this game. So you'll see me not purchase fishing rods because I think it's a waste of 1,800. I'll just go straight for the iridium quality fishing rod. That also goes for swords. You'll see me never purchase a sword in hopes that I either find one as a drop or somehow last all the way down until I can get the obsidian edge sword and not have to spend any money. Which you could argue that it's possible that actually makes me lose money and take more time, but it is what it is. Maybe I just like a challenge. I don't know. But I haven't had this much luck with catfish in quite a while. I've done a decent amount of these spring runs. I just kind of enjoy starting over sometimes, and once I play a game, I kind of like going back and dissecting it. You know, try to figure out, hey, you know, what happens if I go this route? Which is why I did just a straight fishing run a few times ago. But, you know, there's a lot of strategies out there, and unless you kind of try a bunch of different ones, you'll never really know which one works the best for you or which one was the most enjoyable. Like I said, there's a lot of ways to play the spring, and I was just kept finding different ways to do it and seeing which one was the best, or at least the most fun / entertaining. But I'd love to know what you guys think, or what kind of experience you guys have had in your springs, and you can definitely leave those in the comments below. With so many different ways to play this, there's definitely no wrong or right answer. And the great thing about games like this is there is no losing at the game per se. If you don't wanna go this fast and you just want to chill out and hang out the whole first year, that is definitely an option. And I encourage people to do that. You know, I don't think your first experience with this game should be go as hard as you can, grow as much as you can, because that just takes a lot of the fun out of it for a first-time player. There's so much to do, so much to explore, and you know, I even encourage some people not to use the wiki on your first playthrough, just because exploring stuff and finding things out for yourself has a certain appeal to it. But I can promise you that anybody that plays for their first time, you know, they'll find out a number of different things, and they'll want to immediately go back and start over, and that's when you kind of start doing your min-maxing type things, where you're going for one of the better ways to start. You'll definitely change your mood, but that's why I like an initial playthrough to be gentle and easygoing. Because Concerned8 put a lot of time and effort into this game, and going out and exploring it yourself is kind of a way to really engage in it and see the true thought behind it all. Because it is an amazing piece of work. I mean, anytime you can create a game that isn't so heavily focused on, you know, graphics and combat and multiplayer and things like that, and still can reach as many people as this one has, you know, it's kind of a throwback, you know, a throwback to the way gaming used to be, you could say. But that's not to say that I am extremely excited to see how the multiplayer works when it does come out, because I believe it is definitely still a goal of them to put multiplayer in this game. And although it will make things easier, I do think it'll make it very fun, because I have a few cousins that play this, and a sister that play this, and although we're not always in town at the same time, or some of us don't even live in the same area, it would be so much fun to start up a little farm together and, you know, kind of hang out with them in kind of a virtual world, you could say. Because unlike a lot of multiplayer games, there's kind of a feeling of ownership to this, you know, where you have your own farm with your own animals and things like that. So playing with some friends and family and stuff like that, it would be really fun. And I'm very curious to see how they implement it, because there's already a mod on the PC that basically allows you to kind of almost duplicate your farmer. And you have your own inventory, but almost everything else is shared, like income and friendship points and things like that with villagers. But I don't know if they'll go that route, or if they'll do kind of like a family thing where, hey, you have a brother and he moved into your farm, or The other thing I thought of was there's these junipers or jubilees, or I forget what they're called, but they're kind of like little harvest sprite things that live in the community center. I thought it'd be kind of cool if you join a multiplayer game, you would basically be one of those just helping out, but I'd like to see how they implement it for sure. Tell you what, I have been talking a lot and completely spaced that we need to run to the beach. Because we need to be catching an eel, and I could have been doing that for the last 2 hours. But as I don't want to waste this cast, I will grab this real quick and we will head over there. Oh, and maybe it's a good thing because I found some treasure. Hey, a geode. Alright, need some algae to increase our stamina again, or fatigue I should say. And we are going to haul over there. But yeah, with all these catfish we've been catching, this eel should be easy in theory, and that is our first artifact, which is great. So, like I said in one of our past videos, we do need 5 artifacts within 10 days or so. That way we can grab those cauliflower seeds. But we'll probably spend the rest of our night fishing here. And I definitely should have gotten here sooner, because if we don't get a certain amount of luck, which I believe we just did, this was pretty fast fish, although it could be a halibut. Nope, it is an eel. Perfect. Gold star, too. I'm going to eat a few more of these algae and fish a little longer, because I don't really want to keep a gold star eel for the bundle. I'd much rather get a regular one and sell this one off. But through all my talking with you guys and fishing to catch catfish, I haven't been paying a ton of attention to my fishing bar. So I don't know how many levels we've gone up. I'm going to assume at least 2. But if we found a way to go up 3, I don't think so, but if we did, that'd be great. Because if we get to level 5 fishing, we can actually sell all of the extra fish we don't need. Oh, and there's our other eel, I believe. Ooh, and a treasure chest. We're gonna have to risk it to get the biscuit. Hey, how about that? Yep, silver star, that's alright. More coal. Looks like we only really have room for one more fish. And I think it's another eel. That's one of the cooler things about the game and the fishing mechanics is you'll play long enough that you will be able to immediately recognize certain types of fish just based on movement. And I think that's fun. I mean, it's just a little thing that adds to the realism, you could say, you know, because depending on how a fish plays with your rod, which sounds really bad when I say that out loud, depending on how the fish affects your rod, you can kind of tell what they are, and I think that's just awesome. Plus, if anybody's ever watching you play and you call out the fish that it is before you catch it, it makes you look kind of smart, right? Oh man. So we'll dump a few more things here and maybe fish a couple more times. But today was definitely productive. It was awesome to catch basically every fish you can catch in the lake and the ocean in springtime. So the only thing we left is the mountain, which I believe we'll do tomorrow. But we won't have as much energy tomorrow since we're going to have to water all of our crops. how I missed the rain already. Hopefully we catch something quick so I can go catch Shane. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. Although he's a jerk, so never mind. It took us about 50 minutes or so to run all the way to our bed, so we can probably fish till about 12:30. And feel safe about it anyways. Oh, boo. Grab Leo real quick. We'll call it good. I don't want to push it. We already had a pretty good day. No reason to risk it. So, we'll grab all of our important stuff here. Let's see. Cool. Grab that. Yes. So, we will leave all that here. I'm going to bring my dandelion back just because I know that completes the bundle. But overall, pretty good day. I'm happy about it. So tomorrow, like I said, will be one more fishing escapade until we really start doing some other things around the village. Let's see. And yeah, got the dandelion, the horseradish, the leek, and the daffodil. In case you're wondering why I'm keeping more daffodils but not the rest of them, is daffodils make great gifts. So I'll sell the excess of everything else, but I will keep a lot of daffodils around to give. And gosh, tomorrow I would like to turn this in, but I don't know if I want to waste the time running all the way over there. We'll make that decision later. Now go ahead and grab my watering can and dish this. Perfect. Well, let's see how many fishing levels we went up, and we will call that a night and a video. Alright,